Hey guys, so it's Brian Wheelock here, and just wanted to make a statement here about the bus accident, and just share this NBC News report with you. We had NBC at our house a couple days ago, just getting our reaction and feedback. As many of you know, two of our daughters were hurt on school bus incidents here in Parsippany last year, and we fought really, really hard to try to get more accountability for school bus drivers, more record sharing with parents and things, because we could not, after two of our kids got hurt, we couldn't even get the bus driver's name on the police report, it was crazy here. So, I just want to share a little bit more with you and encourage you to get involved with this, battle to keep our kids safe. But here's the NBC News report, and I'll come back at the end.
In Paramus tonight, shock in the superintendent's office.
News 4 has uncovered more than a dozen license suspensions of the bus driver behind the wheel at the time of last week's deadly crash.
Now, the Paramus superintendent now tells News 4 that New Jersey state officials should have done more to alert her to the driver's spotty record. Did the state drop the ball? The I-Team's Chris Glorioso is live in Paramus, and he found a blind spot in the way bus drivers are monitored. Chris?
Well, it turns out New Jersey parents are entitled to know just about everything about the mechanical safety of a bus, its roadworthiness. The Motor Vehicle Commission has a website. You can call it up on your phone and find out the last inspection results of any given school bus. But that website does not have any information about the driver's safety history, not even statistical or anonymous information that protects driver privacy. Brian Wheelock and Gabrielle Bailey know how hard it is to check a school bus driver's record. For the last year, they've been trying to get information about a substitute driver whom they say became erratic on their kids' Parsippany route last year.
He was speeding up really fast and then brake checking, so he would slam on the brakes then, and the children would lurch forward.
Once my daughter got hurt, actually both of them got hurt. One of them banged her head on the seat, one on the window, and all of a sudden your kids are upset and crying. I'll go, what is going on here? We got a problem.
The quest for school bus driver information took on new meaning after last week's fatal bus crash involving a load of fifth graders from Paramus. Days after two passengers died in the wreck, we learned the driver had multiple license suspensions, speeding tickets, and a violation for an improper turn, all going back to the 70s. The Motor Vehicle Commission tells the I-Team every entity that employs school bus drivers must keep up-to-date driver history abstracts for each driver. But on the NBC website, you can only find information about mechanical inspections of buses.
Fire extinguisher rejected for fire extinguisher.
There's no information here about whether bus companies have accurate knowledge of their drivers' infraction histories.
I found out that the driver was much more protected than my own children were. We know about our kids' teachers. We can find out their background. But yet, we don't know if our driver's been pulled over for, aggressive driving, drunk driving, whatever it may be. And we have no right. And that's what was a big red flag for me as a parent.
The I-Team asked the Motor Vehicle Commission if the Paramus School Board has ever been issued a violation for not keeping up-to-date driver history records. The agency did not answer by our deadline. We also asked if the MVC is aware how many school districts statewide have been cited for failure to keep those driver history abstracts. No answer on that either. Gabrielle and Brian say the lack of information may show monitoring school bus drivers should be partly a function of the Department of Education, not just motor vehicle regulators.
When I heard the news about the bus crash, I felt sick, because I knew that we had been saying less than a year before, we need to have clarity on who these bus drivers are and what their qualifications are and what their records are.
After last week's fatal Paramus school bus crash, Senator Joseph Lagana asked for the state legislature to hold hearings to try to figure out ways to make school bus travel more safe in New Jersey. We asked him for a comment today. His spokesperson told us he's not quite ready to talk publicly because he wants to wait for both victims of this tragic accident to be memorialized and buried. Reporting live from Paramus, Chris Glorioso, News 4 New York.
So as you can see, it's a tough time here in New Jersey as we find out that this driver had a lot of problems on his record, and but there are things we can do, and I want to encourage all of you to, wherever you are, wherever your kids are in school, to call your local school district, request and pretty much demand that they give information about drivers and verify that they are certified and what kind of records they have. And You also call your local senators, call your lawmakers, and request that there be more oversight. Right now, New Jersey and federally, there is no governing body over school buses and over school bus drivers. You have the DMV that makes sure the buses are inspected and that kind of thing. But in terms of the drivers, it's up to the individual school district and departments of transportation to do all that, and there's no set standard. So these are the problems that we're running into. And most importantly, pray for these families that have kids that are still hospitalized here in New Jersey, and for the families that have lost a student and a teacher. And Pam and I we request prayer for us and for the other parents that are going forward in this battle. I have this thick file of all the things I did last year and continue to do over 200 hours trying to fight for this cause. And we're pledging to keep going, but we need your support and prayer. So please just lift us up. And again, just pray that we have protection and that ultimately we can make our buses safer for our kids. And I thank you for all of your support. And please, I know people have been sending me a lot of their bus complaints and things that they're seeing out there. Go ahead and keep sending them. I'm trying to compile and do what I can with these and get them to the right people. So thank you again. And again, Pam and I are grieving about what's happened, and we're continuing on this fight. So thank you to everybody for all your support.